Hey ProSource, my name is Bruce.
I'm Kate.
And I'm David from lightcanhelpyou.com. And in this video, we're going to share with you what we think of Coastal Source, one of the lighting vendors in the buying group. The first thing you need to know about Coastal Source is that there is landscape lighting and there is landscape lighting. Here we have two bullet lights. They're both landscape lighting, but one of them is very different, and that's Coastal Source. So Kate has agreed to be the guinea pig for this test. This is what we call the drop test, or the spike. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh gosh.
This is a landscape light from a manufacturer that we will not mention, but watch our other videos. It's a decent quality landscape light, but it's kind of a standard landscape light. So hold that in one hand. This is Coastal Source, and they go about the same kind of thing, but in a very different way. So here, take that. Right? So what do you tell me about the difference?
Well, I wish I was pretending that's a lot heavier than it is, but that was no drama. That really is a lot heavier.
Yeah,
this is a lot lighter.
Right?
They feel nice, but this one's so much heavier.
Yeah, can I see that?
It's solid.
Wow.
Isn't
nice.
that?
Yeah.
Here, you try this one now.
Whoa.
Isn't that a big difference?
Right. All you have
No
to do is
exaggeration.
hold these to know the difference in quality.
Yeah.
Right? But there's a lot more to it. And why make it heavier? One of the other differences I want to point out is, hold up the cord from that, Bruce. Okay, you see a difference? Right? Which one of these is going to last longer underground?
Yeah, definitely this one.
Right. So we'll talk about the cables a little bit more in depth with Coastal Source, but they've gone about that in an entirely different way. Now, this is what I have in my house, right? Because I'm not rich yet, but please hire me and I will be. Let's take that off and take a look at Coastal Source.
Yeah.
So this is your bullet light, and it's machined out of solid brass, and the stake is brass as well, which means it's going to patina, but it's really going to be corrosion resistant. You can put this stuff in saltwater environments. This was made by a family that was down in Florida, and they kept having lights wear out, and they finally decided they just needed to start a company and do it the right way. So they've got outdoor speakers, which you probably know of, and they've adapted the same cabling technology to their landscape lights. And the combination of really solid craftsmanship and really smart cabling sets them apart. So inside of this, you've got an LED source that's changeable, so you can have different optics. Of course, it's aimable and lockable, and they've got a couple of different stake varieties as well. That sounds like, you know, flank steak and cube steak and whatever. There's a couple different steaks. This cable is watertight and has little... Cables are entirely different, and they come with caps that screw on to make sure that when you seal them, no water is going to get in there. The cables are all pre-terminated, so you're not terminating in the field, which is going to make sure the electrician does it right. Whoever's installing it does it right. This is the tenderized steak. Right?
It's not going anywhere.
So sometimes you've got ground that won't take a big steak directly, or you want to be able to move it around. So you can put this in and it's much easier to remove, but it's still very stable because of the 4 stakes. It's like when they build skyscrapers on individual pilings instead of a foundation. It's the same effect. And you can get from Coastal Source a kit of fixtures, which if you're going to do landscape lighting, we highly recommend, because there's nothing like going out and showing it to the client. Once you show it to the client, they're going to want it because it makes such a huge difference in how the house is perceived or the grounds are perceived at night. You can get a kit from Coastal Source, as I was saying. They put these stakes on them because they're easy to put in and remove, and you're never going to see the holes in a yard from this. So you can do the mock-up and get out clean. Out here. Oh, a tree light. So, hey Bruce, come over.
Yeah.
So this is a tree light, and what you do is you take this, and when you find a big... Can you hold your arm out? Yeah, so when you take a stake like this, you just put it in to the tree trunk where you want. It comes off and you can drive it in. Oh, how's that feel? Yeah. And then you can loosen it on a ball joint and you can aim it where you want. So it's a very simple tree spike. We did a project recently where we had the bands that wrap around and you can adjust those, and they're stainless steel and they're great. They're going to be able to adjust with the tree, and they're shiny silver on the gray tree. And it's like yeah, but when the leaves fall off, you're seeing like wedding rings around the tree. So this is another way to do it. And I did talk to a landscaper in Toronto who does nothing but trees. He's brilliant at it. And he said, yeah, no, actually, we'll screw into the tree. Like the tree will heal itself around the screw. And if you leave space for the tree to grow, it's easier to, it's actually healthier for the tree. He said a band is like a tourniquet on the tree.
Yeah.
So if you don't adjust it, eventually that will start to hurt the tree. Whereas this is more like a little wound, and then it'll heal itself. So there's a Coastal Source way of doing that.
Nice.
And then Kate's going to bring in the last tray, and this is really fun. Baby lights.
The minis, yeah.
Right, miniature lights. Yeah. And it's the same technology. It's still this weighs. It's still pretty heavy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
And
Definitely.
it's. I don't even remember the name of this. It's probably like mini or tiny or baby or something. But you can put it in different housings. You can make it an aimable spotlight, so it can be a bullet light that's just really tiny. You can hide this in all kinds of places. You can put PVC into a concrete pour, and then this will fit down inside of it, and you've got an in-grade uplight.
Nice.
You can take this, it's made for hanging in trees here, so you can hang it in a tree. You can screw this, take this off, put on different face plates, and now it's a recessed in-grade or a recessed marker light in the wall. And they've got a bunch of different finishes. You can also even get a square. So you can do a square in-grade light. If you're trying to, uplight a pergola or something like that, this is kind of a cool way to do it.
Yeah, nice.
And embed it right in there, and you've got this great tiny little light.
That's perfect.
These are step lights or in-grade lights that shine out in either this one goes in one direction, this goes in two directions.
Does it come out?
Those don't come out because they're kind of hardwired
yeah,
into
I
this
see that.
wood. You can see that into that block of walnut, but you can see the light distribution coming out.
Yeah, it's a nice wide art.
Yeah,
Bang.
different varieties. Oh yeah, sure. You can see the variety of light. Let's turn that. Yeah, how I'm directing the light source in essence, so you can get a real discrete, low glare source of light outside. So from the big lights to the little lights and path lights as well, Coastal Source has a really nice offering. I was talking to their team and I said, I love what you've got. It's very traditional though, and we've got some clients building modern homes, and some of this doesn't fit in quite as well in the real ultra-modern homes. And they said, just wait. Like some people have already seen it, so I suspect that within the next 2 months we'll see that. By the time you're watching this video, their modern line is probably already going to be out there, so we can cross that little downside off of Coastal Source. You will pay some money for the cable and you'll pay some money for the fixtures, but you'll probably get that back in return and not having callbacks to go out to the site, repair things that have been cut through or pulled loose or corroded, etc. So I think if I was specifying for a client, I would want to use a product like this because I don't want them calling me. I want it to work. And that's Coastal Source. Check out the other videos for the other manufacturers within the Bryan group. And remember that light can help you.
And we can help you with light.
Yes, we can.